Test, 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 test. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? We are testing first, right? What's going on? We just want to make sure we're live here, so there's no issues. Test, 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 check. Can you hear me? Good. Looks like we're good. Amazing. We got an amazing show. I know you guys aren't seeing me right now, but you are hearing my voice. Let's just pretend that is me. Well, it is me, right? That's my thumbnail. But I can't show you my face yet. Something happened to my face. You're about to find out. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to go with the intro in a second, but we got some good stuff coming on today's episode. You see that title. Make sure you tell your peoples right now while the intro's playing so everybody is there and we can get this message out. All right? Here we go. Oh, shoot. No! You see me? No!
I don't do this for the following. They follow me, but I ain't tripping. They more Dollar Trees. I like my time spent modestly with quality.
Amazing. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. I just want to make sure I'm centered. I want to make sure I'm centered. I want to make sure my volume is right. Mic is right, everything. So there's no distractions from the message. We don't want no distractions. We want it clear, right? So that's why I'm doing all this, okay? Amazing. Welcome to the show. Let's get right into it. Topics to be covered. What did we talk about last week? Let's look. Last week we talked about how do you know God can trust you? Ooh, we got into it. Because we always, like, as Christians or people in general, right? Everybody, doesn't matter who you are. We always, try to have faith, right? Have faith in God and trust God. But we never think, can God trust me? Can I be trusted? If he gave me perfect peace right now, could I handle it? Could I deal with it? Right? How do I know God? How do you know God can trust you? So that's what we talked about last week. It was deep. So you want to make sure that you podcast that at another time because you got to watch today's episode. But that is episode 36. And you can watch that and go send that to people and all that good stuff. But also, not only can you watch it on YouTube, the video, but I am now on Apple Podcasts. So you can listen to the audio, which may be more simpler for you as you're driving or whatever the case may be. So I am on Apple Podcasts now. So you can stream or you can listen to that last episode at your convenience on Apple Podcasts. Just look up Joel Friday TV Podcast or Joel Friday TV, and I should just pop up. I don't know. It should work, right? So make sure you tell your peoples that I am on there as well. I'm working on getting on Spotify. Spotify is a little bit more complicated and a little more difficult. That's okay. We're Team Apple Podcasts anyway. All Apple, right? But there's people who use Spotify, so I do want to get the show up on Spotify as well. So we're working on it. But until then, Apple Podcasts. Amazing. So that was last week's episode. Today, what are we talking about? Joel, what are we talking about today? Today, I wanted to talk about the reason why we can't find peace. The reason why it's so hard, that's what I should have named it. The reason why it's so hard and difficult to find perfect peace. Oh, we're going to get into it. I got some examples I'm going to show. I got some clips that I want to play. Just some different things that I want to get into that I think you guys will enjoy. So make sure you stay tuned. But you know what you got to do before we get into it. You know what you got to do. What do you got to do, chat? What you got to do, chat? Hit that like button, smack it, lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and the message out. You still got time. Do it now. Amazing. Also, this is a talk show, so you can call in at 888-775-3773, and we can talk. We can argue, we can debate, we can fellowship, whatever you want to do it, I'm here for it, and all in the name of Jesus. You've heard the calls before. Sometimes we argue, sometimes we fight, but it's all good, right? So you can call in 888-775-3773. If you cannot call in, you're busy, you got things going on, something going on with your dog, with your niece, with your whatever, right? You can also send your questions or comments via Super Chat, and I will respond to them live on air, right? And you can you can toggle the Super Chats on the little icon in the chat box, right? But you can also do the Buy Me a Coffee thing. Could somebody tag, I forgot to pin the Buy Me a Coffee link. Could somebody out there pin the Buy Me a Coffee Joel Friday link? So you can support the show as well by doing a Buy Me a Donut. Because I don't have a coffee, right? Because I don't drink coffee, so you can buy me a donut, right? With a question or a comment. So hopefully one of the guys out there can pin that for me. Perfect. Thanks, James. James pinned it, right? And yeah, so you can do that as well. It's appreciated. Thank you. And thank you for the support before. I will, in the name of Jesus, read the Buy Me a Coffees and the Super Chats from last week. I will do that, right? In the middle. So bear with me. Amazing. Announcements are out the way. Let's get into today's topic. What's up, chat? Hi, y'all. Everybody good? Okay. Amazing. So I was just thinking, there's a lot going on. Always something new going on. Never a dull week. Never a boring week, I'll tell you that. And, just thinking and reflecting, and I don't try to like stop myself and be like, let me think and reflect so I have something for the show. No, I think that's the wrong way to do it. That's like force. I don't force it. I don't try to like meditate on what to talk about. I just have an interest to learn more. I have an interest, and I've always had it since the little. I remember it not being this way. I've always just like was curious about things and curious to understand how things work and just wanting to like understand, what's going on. So like throughout the week, it just naturally, I'll just be like, oh, that's interesting. And then I'll like reflect on it a little bit. But obviously over time, the more you start to reflect and you see the value in it, then you start to pay attention more, right? I definitely pay attention more, like, oh, that's interesting. Huh. And then you connect the dots with what you already learned. And then boom, revelation. Not all the time, but yeah. You just learn how to make sense of things. And also learn how to recognize if it's true or not based off of the spirit. What you believe the spirit is, right? And, you can always make mistakes. You can always be wrong, because, sometimes you can make mistakes. But the more and more you grow in the spirit and you recognize when it's coming from here, you can stand on it, right? And, nobody can knock you off that belief. Doesn't mean you're not open to being wrong, right? You got to be open to being wrong, but you just believe it and you see it, so you're confident in it. So over time, I'm growing in that, and throughout the weeks, I'm just kind of reflecting and then like making sense of things, and it's just amazing, right? And I'm grateful. So as I was doing that, I was thinking like, and it just kind of like dawned on me. And I was like, man, it's so crazy because me in general, but the world as a whole is like we're always trying to like find perfect peace. How do we get it, right? And the reason why we also want it so bad is because we're tired of like feeling this conflict and pain and like wrestling with the spirit and depression and anxiety, right? I don't have depression and anxiety, but I know what that's like. I've had it before. I know what that is. But we wrestle, right? We wrestle with that pain and all that stuff. And we want peace because we just want to be free of it, right? We just want to walk in the spirit, walking on water like Hassan, right? We just want to be in that place, but we just don't know how to get there. And oftentimes, while we're trying to find that place of peace, what do we do? What do we do when we're trying to find that place of peace? We escape. We escape into our minds, right? And when we escape into our minds, our thoughts and those judgments and all these opinions give us these feelings, right? These feelings. And these feelings satisfy us. Whether we want to admit it or not, they satisfy us. They give us a little bit of relief to the conflict and pain we're dealing with throughout life, right? So we stay in our head, not because we want to, not because we like love it. We love it there. It's because it gives us that sense of relief, right? And there's a sense of want, but that's why we go into the mind. But the thing is that I realized, I was like, man, the only reason why I'm there is because I care. And this is the thing. The only reason why we're in our thoughts, the only reason why we're in our mind is because we care. We think things matter. We think things matter. We think life is important, right? That's the only reason, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's the only reason why we escape into our mind is because we care about things. You know what I mean? Like, we want to have, we want things to be, we want to have an opinion about things. We want to judge those things, right? We want all these things, and we put so much emphasis on it because we think that they're important to us. Like, for example, if somebody says something to you that you don't like or is offensive, we want to defend, right? We want to defend ourselves. Why? Because we care about the opinion. We care about what people think. You know what I mean? We care how we're perceived by people if we don't defend ourselves properly. We don't want to look like a weak man, especially men. We don't want to look like a weak man. So what we try to do, we puff our chest out, right? But it's only because we care about things. We care. And I would just realize that if we just didn't care and we learned how to not care about anything, no care in the world about nothing, no importance to nothing, right? Life will not only just flow, but we won't even escape to our minds, right? Because we're only in our minds to try to solve things. We're only in our minds to try to solve things. Now, you've heard it said before, practical things on our daily lives, we're supposed to use our brain, right? Like as a tool. And you use your mind to like, you use it for certain things. But we're not supposed to escape to our mind. And now that we've grown and learned that this tool that we have as our mind can be used to fix problems, we try to use it to fix all your problems, the spiritual ones, right? And we can't fix those problems, right? Spiritual problems aren't solved by a 1 + 1 = 2, like building something is, or like playing a sport. Like, your mind can be used in that way to solve problems, but not in a spiritual way. You can't say 1 + 1 = 2. right? Or maybe you can, I just don't understand it. But to make my point is that, like, yeah, we escape to the mind only to try to solve problems. But if we just didn't care, we wouldn't escape to the mind. We would let it just reveal itself. We would let life take its course, and we would just find the answer when we're walking down the road, right? And we would be in the present. We would not even be in our mind. We would have full faith, absolute faith. And absolute faith is the absence of all thoughts, right? So, yeah, we escape to our mind. And I'm about to finish this up here because I want to get to some clips. And you can call in 888-775-3773 and give your opinion about the topic or whatever the case may be. But there's also this fear, right? There's this fear that, okay, well, Joel, you say if I get out of my mind and I stop caring about things and I just let go of caring, I stop thinking things matter, I stop making things important, I just don't care anymore. There's this fear that, well, if I don't try, I'm lazy. If I don't try, I'm not a good Christian. Right? If I don't try, it's not going to get done. That's just so deep. I totally can relate to that 100%. Because the mind makes you believe that there's something you can do. There's something that you can do. And if you just try hard enough, you're going to get a result. But that's control. Right? That's control. And that's not faith. Why would we ever need God if we can solve everything on our own? Why would we ever rely on God? We couldn't. So there's this fear of, if I let go, what if I never find it? What if I get lost? What if I go left? What if I go right? Well, to combat that evil thought, I also have understood that wrong is the pathway to right. That wrong ain't wrong. Wrong is a lesson. So there's no wrong or right. It's just human experience. And I talked about that a few episodes back. It's just an experience. It's just life. You're learning as you go. And God's with you the whole time. So we shouldn't have fear. And I speak for myself as well. We shouldn't have fear of making a mistake, or fear of, like, God letting go of God. If we don't try, he's not gonna be there. And we're going to get lazy, and we're going to do this, and let's just say any of that is the case. Let's just say that stuff happens. We don't think that God loves us enough to let us know, like, oh, okay, well, you went a little bit too far over there with that. Come back a little bit here, and he'll direct us, and we learn. Like, he's not absent. He's not absent. Even when he feels like he is, even when it's like you can't see, when things don't make sense, he's not absent. Faith will lead you back to all things. Isn't that crazy? That's great news. So, back to the point is, we don't have perfect peace because we keep trying to create perfect peace. And when you try, you create pressure on yourself. And when you create pressure on yourself, you create stress. You're stressing out, you're overthinking. And what happens when you do all those things? Conflict within. Now you're having conflict. It hurts and it's pain. And then to get some relief from that pain, what do? You pick up all those vices, right? You pick those up because you just want to feel better. You know what I mean? Lay your weapons down. I love the fact that that's Jesse Lee Peterson's theme lately. And I don't even know if it's his theme, right? But I love that because lay your weapons down. Like, we have to get to a place where we really start to understand that there's nothing we can do in all areas of life. Look at Jesus' example. That boy got whipped. That boy got beat. That boy did all those things, but did he ever raise his weapons? As a matter of fact, he told Peter, lower the sword, man. Right? And I love that. Lay your weapons down, because laying your weapons down, you know what that means? And it's hard. It ain't an easy walk, right? But laying your weapons down, you know what that is? That's surrendering. Surrendering that God, the person, the spirit that we believe in, that we rely on, is going to take care of everything. And he's going to protect us in every single way possible. Does that mean things are going to not happen to you? No. Things are going to happen to you. Right? But not in the way that we think they're going to happen. That's so bad. Oh my God, that sucks. I hate it. No, for a benefit or to learn a lesson. Maybe you're hard-headed. Maybe you're stubborn. Sometimes you just got to learn the lesson. It be like that. So we got to lay our weapons down. Because that's where the pride lives. Pride and ego lives in those weapons. I'm telling you. And being offended and taking things personal all come from wanting to prove that you're not a weak person or da-da-da. Could you imagine Jesus getting beat? Do you think that maybe as a human, this, like, Satan had it cross his mind? But I think he had an understanding that me getting up and cussing these people out for beating me up, it's not going to prove nothing. It's not going to change anything. They still going to beat him. Right? And even if he got up and said, you know what? And he did like his powers like this and like wiped everybody out, then we wouldn't have the gospel today. That this had to happen. That he had to carry people's sins and die for their sins. We wouldn't have that if he defended himself. Because his death was to prove that in spite of all those accusations, false accusations or accusations and brutality and abuse, he still loved us. That's deep. So be like Jesus and learn how to truly, not intellectually, but truly, like, lay down the weapons. All of them. And walk in love and perfect peace. I'm learning myself, y'all. But we really gotta, like, be serious about it. Not overreact to it, not make it too important, but just like be like, oh, okay, I see that this is like the way to go. But anyway, I hope that made sense. I'm gonna play some clips. I don't even know if they're related to I don't even know if they're related to what we just got into as far as perfect peace. And maybe it is in some kind of way, but I thought these clips were just kind of interesting and fun. So I want to get to them. if I could work it out. But before I get to them, let me do some super chats. Amazing. Let me do some super chats because I don't want to forget today. Let's go to super chats. Hold up. Super chats. We got Ryan Moon with a generous donation. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. And Ryan's my friend. I talked to Ryan before, multiple times. Great show, brother. Keep up the hard work. All the love from Paradise, Florida. Right on, Ryan. And congratulations to planting your feet over there in Florida. I know that was like a recent move for you. Right on. Glad you're doing well, man. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Let me go to Buy Me a Coffee. Because Buy Me a Coffee, I think, is, I'm still learning how to work it, but we're going to get it. Let me read the one from last week really quick. Hake sent me a donut. Hake bought me a donut and said, donuts. Hake feels me. Hake feels me when it comes to donuts. He knows. Let's see. Carver bought a donut and says, Dear Mr. Friday, we have been trying to reach you regarding your unaccounted check for $3.50 from August 2022. Your account has been flagged in our system as high risk, noting he black. We apologize for the inconvenience. Kindest regards, Chase Bank Reparations Agent Carver. That is hilarious. I didn't even read that full message until right now. So that is my honest reaction. Thank you, Carver. I appreciate that. That's hilarious. I appreciate that. We have Ralph says, Hey, Joel, thanks. I wish you well. He bought 5 donuts. Dang. Ooh. I don't know how I'm going to feel about after 5 of them. Usually I can have like 2 or, I'm lying. I can eat 5. I won't feel good after, but I could definitely eat 5 donuts in one sitting. I think I've done it before. But I don't recommend it. Amazing. Thank you, Ralph. JC from Little Rock, Arkansas, says, I truly find it courageous in you sharing your story of you formerly being in an abusive relationship. Yeah, so if what he's talking about is I talked about on the Fallen State that just aired last Friday, Jesse Lee Peterson interviewed the 4 hosts that are a part of the JLP network, the new network that he has going. And in there, he asked us if we ever got hit by a woman. And then I mentioned my story about when I was in a relationship. I got into it with a girl and she hit me. She punched me. And I wasn't expecting it, but it happened. And I explained the story into depth. So that's what he's talking about. And he says, I appreciate you opening about, I find it courageous that you open about your abusive relationship, and good on you for not hitting her back. In spite of our personal differences, I find that to be admirable. Keep sharing your stories with no shame. I miss calling, but Nick said I couldn't call anymore. Shout out to the Baja man, Sean, the producer and the king of graduates on Rumble. Love that guy. Amazing. Oh, I know, JC. I appreciate it, JC. I'm not sure why you had to be blocked. But I haven't heard you recently on the other people's shows since I've been here. But there might be a reason, a good reason. So I have to trust the powers that be of why you got blocked. But when you were on my show, I will say it never got disrespectful in that way. But I don't know what your character is like with other people. So that's why I can't defend you and say, bring them back, because I don't know how you were acting on their shows. But I still appreciate the donation, and I appreciate the conversations we had. So anyway, thank y'all. Amazing stuff. Let me go back to the stuff I have here for you guys, because I think this stuff is kind of fun, interesting. Because I was on the internet. I was on TikTok. I think it was TikTok and Instagram. And let me pull it up. And I was on there. Hold on, let me make sure this is right, because if not, it's gonna play the wrong. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. How do I stop it? Okay, I got it. I almost kind of gave it away, but it's okay. Let me go to clip 1. So I was on Instagram and I was watching, just scrolling. And as I was scrolling, I seen this clip, and it was this white family, right? And there's this white young boy. He looked like the older brother, and then and he was swinging a baseball bat, and then a younger brother who was throwing the ball, and then, like, the family around there. Here's the clip of that, and then I'm gonna tell you what happened as a result of that clip. Here we go.
You're gonna hit a kid or kill a window. Stop. You're gonna hit a kid or kill a window.
Watch it again. So the brother hits it over the wall, and the little boy is just screaming. Screaming crazy. And look at the dad walk up. And so, right? So I was on the internet, and I commented. So I'm going to show you guys my comment real quick. Let me show you guys my comment. My comment was this. I put, white people let their babies scream over baseball, right? That was my comment. And I like to comment a lot on these kind of like memes and reels or whatever, because I just like to add the humor to it, because oftentimes everybody's kind of like, they're like talking mess in the comments, and like it's often like in a comedic way, and it's just fun for me. So I'll like comment, and I commented, white people let their babies scream over baseball. When I tell you the attacks, when I tell you the attacks that I got for saying that was so insane, right? But it's online, so I'm not feeling nothing about it because it's online. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not taking it personal or nothing. But it was so crazy and eye-opening, the attacks I was getting from white people. From white people. And watch, I'm going to show you one of the comments right here. Look, let me see. One person said, it has nothing to do with white. Sounds like you're jealous he has a dad in his life. He said it has nothing to do with being white. Hold on. It has nothing to do with being white. It sounds like you're jealous that he has a dad in his life. Hold on, I'm trying to get it to go back. And I was like, I started laughing for one, because I'm like, that is so interesting that they, in their minds, they believe that I was the racist, that I'm like the racist, like the black people that say certain things. And they looked at me as a racist, and that's fine. But the thing is that oftentimes people don't realize is that, so now you're mad that I'm racist, so you be racist back to me because you're mad that I was racist first, but you don't realize that you were just racist for that comment, quote unquote racist, right? And I thought that was so interesting because they bashed me. Let me show you another one they did. Hold on. This one says, at least the dad is there. Where's the black dads again? It's an epidemic level on your side, right? And I thought that was so funny. And you know what's so funny? This was just even funnier for me, is because I was replying to these people. But when I replied, I was like to this one, I was like, I was like, yeah, that's true. The black daddy is oftentimes on around for the black babies as well. I agree. Ha 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 ha. And no responses. All my responses were similar like that, right? Because I agree. Like, I'm not over here trying to like call people out and like say that I made a joke, right? That people took offense to. Because for one, it is true in the white families, they let their children, not all white people, but they let their children cuss at them, hit them, scream like that. White people allow that stuff. In the black homes, black people wouldn't allow that. You get smacked so hard you try to get loud with the black families. So white people do that, and I made a joke about it, but I thought it was funny because they didn't have no response back to my response. And I was like, yeah, I agree, because they thought I was going to fight. They wanted to fight, right? And I understand why. They're probably tired of being picked on by the blacks and other people for just being white. You know what I mean? So I get it, but still, like, you still have that spirit in you that is just as evil. So they were like calling me all kinds of names and like, you have a podcast? How dare you say something disrespectful like this? You're a joke. And I was just, and I didn't reply to everybody because it's a waste of time, right? But on some of them, I was just like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and like going along with their thing. Because I wasn't picking sides, I was just making a joke. But they didn't have nothing to say in my response. I thought that was so funny because they thought I was going to come back with some racist stuff. And I'm like, no, you're right. Black daddies aren't there for the most part, right? So I thought that was funny, but let me go. Let me move on. I can't see with the chat. Let me go back to see where the chat is. Chat, what do you guys think about that clip? Why out of control? Joel out there scaring the white folks. And I also was telling them, like, I was like, little do you know. I was like, I didn't say little do you know though, but I was like, yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm also white too. I have white in me. So, yeah, buddy. But it was so interesting. And I really wasn't looking for that response. I really wasn't looking to fight. I honestly comment jokes like that in different kind of videos. And not all of them have to do with race, right? But I comment jokes like that and just out of fun. Like I like reading the comments when they're in my videos, so I like commenting on other people's videos because it's just fun. And the comments are hilarious. So I just joined the party. So I wasn't looking for no smoke or anything like that. And I wasn't trying to like pick a fight. But it happened to come to me like that. I thought it was just so interesting. So I wanted to share that with you guys. But that's one thing that I came across that I was like, I can't wait to share this with the chat. The second thing I came across, hold on. The second thing I came across is I was on TikTok and I was watching, I followed this account, Cops. They have like a bunch of different accounts. And I followed this account, and this one white cop stopped a black cop and there was an altercation, right? And I like was really watching it, and I kind of like wanted to break that down of what I believe happened in the clip. So I'm gonna play this clip. Let me make sure it's the right one. And are we clear? Hold on. Hold up. Hopefully we're clear. Let's see. I don't think I have a clear for that one. That's okay. We'll just try and see. So this is a clip from TikTok. Here we go.
Yeah, put your hands behind your back because you're getting tased. I'm telling you that right now.
Why am I getting tased?
Because you are under arrest for speeding and reckless driving.
I'm not driving. Nobody was hurt. How was I speeding?
You passed me doing 100 miles an hour.
Okay, so that's a speeding ticket, right?
Sir, tickets in the state of Georgia are criminal offenses.
I don't have a ticket in Georgia.
You do now?
Why?
You passed me doing 100 miles an hour.
I'm not going
Hands behind your back. Yes, you are going to jail. Hands behind your back.
He tased
Put
him,
your hands behind your back.
and he didn't like feel the tase. And they're fighting. They're fighting here. They're wrestling in a cop is like trying to reach for like his baton so he can try to beat him, but it's not working. Boom, the cop shoots him to get him off him, right? Because at that point, it's either the black man's life or the cop's life. The cop shoots him.
Candace, shot fired! Shot fired, Candace! Stay down!
Cop shoots him. Look, and the guy's trying to get
Stay
up.
down! Stay down! Stay down!
The guy's still trying to get up. Mind you, the guy is shot, so
Suspect down! He's in the helmet!
he's trying to like, I think, also try to defend himself, but also
Stay down!
scared that he's about to die. So I think it's interesting because I think that whole situation could have been avoided, right? And I want to blame I don't want to blame, right? But I want to point out the cop, right? Because the cop in this situation, in my opinion, tased the guy, and that's fine, tased him. And then the guy decided he wanted to fight, right? So for whatever reason, right, it got to that point. But the cop, if you pay attention, could not fight. He could not fight. And the black guy who was wrestling with him had the strength. The cop had no strength. If you really watch the video, cop had zero strength. Like he's trying to get him a chokehold, but the cop is like trying to reach for his baton and he's trying to reach for his tools to fight. If you're in that situation, I'm not a cop, right? And I'm not saying that I would do better in a situation, but I would think that if you're a cop and you're dealing with people on a daily basis who are going to fight you, you better know how to fight. Because I think how that could have been solved is like, let's fight then. Let's fight then. Because right now, as you see in the video, the black man, I'm sorry, I'm looking up. I need to be looking at the camera. But the black man is like wrestling him, right? And he's got him in like this weird chokehold thing. But the cop can't is not even really like putting up a fight back. He's trying to like get his tools and stuff. He's like a weak fighter. So instead of like wrestling this guy, like, okay, we're going to wrestle, let's wrestle. And then when he has him in a good position grabbing his tools, he's reaching for his tools. And I think that's the problem too, is that like these cops don't know how to fight. So if they don't know how to fight, what they're going to do, they're going to resort to using their weapons. And then people end up getting killed. Now, in some situations, I do believe it's necessary to pull out your weapons and or maybe use your gun, right? But not all the time. I think that they should have just fought, brawled, right? Until it got out of hand and then the cop was like, okay, boom, boom, boom. But the cop really couldn't fight. He should have really overpowered this guy. You're a cop. You're a trained professional. You should have took this man down. Instead of getting overpowered, and because you got overpowered, and at that point, you're about to lose your life, then you put out the gun and shoot. And I understand why he put out the gun and he had to shoot him. Because at that point, the guy was probably, like, who knows the limits he was going to do. He was choking him. He was like pressing like a pressure point or something in his neck. And who knows how far that guy's going to go, right? So at that point, it's either your life or his. So I understand why he had to shoot. But I don't even think he should have got to this point. If the cop knew how to fight, it shouldn't have been the pressure point. If anything, the pressure point should have been done on the guy. So I think it escalated to that because of a lack of training. Now, yes, obviously the black man shouldn't have resisted. Yes, the black man should have done those things. And that's a problem in the black community. And I denounce that kind of stuff too. But I'm just saying, like, man, if you're going to be a cop, know how to fight. I've seen cops who can't even run. They're too fat. I'm like, you're defending the city? When I picture a cop, we should see like a ninja almost. A ninja. You got to be a ninja. Because you don't know what you're facing. in these streets. And if you're not a ninja, anyway, I just had to break that down because I thought that was so interesting to me. And, you know, there's just, we just got to take the job more seriously. And I think that it does get easy sometimes to like, to have the weapons, right? It makes it easier to deal with these certain people, right? The weapons they do like make a person surrender quicker when there's weapons involved. So I'm not denouncing weapons. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, man, why can't you fight if you're a cop? So anyway. Joel is a ninja. I ain't saying I'm a ninja. I ain't a cop. "100% cops should have at least 3 wrestling or BJJ months of training." I agree. Cops should be training in, what do you call that? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Weekly. Black belts. Every cop should be a black belt. If you're a cop and you're not a black belt, you don't need to be a cop. You should be a black belt ninja. And I bet you there will be way less killings. Way less killings. So y'all better get in the gym. Cause that's ridiculous, though. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But like I said, I ain't no cop. I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I would hope that I'm trained. And if you're not, you gotta, that's a reality check on you. Let me go to some calls real quick. I had some other clips. Maybe I won't be able to get to them today, but they're interesting. But let me take some calls. I don't want to neglect the calls because in the chat, you guys will cuss me out because you guys always do. You don't take call. You do a lot of talking. You be talking too much. Take a call. I'm going to take a call. Let me go to Jamie at Minnesota. I think MN is Minnesota. Jamie or Jaime, I don't know. Welcome to the show. You're on air.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
It's going good. Hey, I watched that video a few days ago. There's a full-length video of what happened.
Oh, interesting.
And I wanted to call in because I thought you had said that it was a white cop against a black cop.
Oh, no.
But, huh?
Oh, no, yeah. A white cop versus a black male.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that guy's name is Leonard Cure, and he was falsely imprisoned for 16 years. And he got exonerated, and he got a bunch of money.
The cop?
But no, the black man. His name's Leonard Cure.
Oh, so he survived.
No, he died.
Oh, he died. So then what's this exonerated thing?
So, in the past, he was put in prison for a crime, a robbery. Okay. And then 16 years later, so he served 16 years, and then he got exonerated.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, okay. I see.
And so he was out, and I think this was about a year later after he got out that this event happened. But supposedly, I'm pretty sure I read this in that article, that he had already been in a few, there had been some crimes that he'd already committed.
Oh, okay.
And then this was one that they botched and
I see.
And said it was him, and it wasn't. But when I saw that video, that guy's big. He's a big guy.
The black one.
And he looked, the black guy, Leonard, the Cure.
Right.
He looked very strong.
So you think that the cop had no chance? I mean, we
no,
obviously knew.
Not only that, but before that happened, the whole video was on the cop's dash cam.
Yeah.
And this guy was in that truck swerving, weaving in and out of traffic.
I believe.
Like lanes, not just a little bit, lanes of traffic back and forth. And, you know, like the cop said, 100 miles an hour. And it was obvious this guy was
speeding.
Was looking for a fight.
Okay. Which is justified. And I can understand why he got pulled over. But do you think that the cop do you think that it would have escalated to this if the cop had better training?
Oh, yeah. And this guy, anybody who pulled him over, I'm sure he would have taken them down. And imagine if it was a woman cop.
Right. But that's the thing is, like, why are people... That's the thing I'm not understanding is that, like, obviously there's people that are going to be stronger than you. Obviously there's people that are going to be bigger than you. But there's tactics and training that police officer... We've known all this time that they were supposed to go through these things to be able to subdue these people despite their size and their strength. And we just don't see that. That's the part where I'm at. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not saying that's the reason why they're killing people. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, like, a lot of these situations could be avoided if there was better training involved.
I mean, I guess the question, I don't know if the question you're asking is was this a good shoot? Was this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you believe that it came down to
shooting?
Do you believe that it came down to the cop's strength, or do you think that it happened as it should have?
That happened for me. Looking at it, and I watched the video from the beginning, and that had to happen.
Okay, fair enough.
It's sad. I didn't want it to happen.
Right, of course.
I think that's a bad thing.
Right, but that's your opinion. You felt like
it was either. Though I was talking to my wife about it, and it was the cop or him. One of them was going to go. You know, die. One of them was going to die.
Right. Fair enough. Is it Jaime or Jamie? Jaime. Fair enough, Jaime. I appreciate it. I got to move the wheels a little bit more, but thank you for your take on it. And
no problem.
And I respect it because, you know, it's always good to hear other people's opinion about it. But I appreciate it, man. Call me again.
Yep. Bye.
All right, man. Thanks. I don't want it to seem like I was hanging up on Jaime because he disagreed with me. That wasn't the case. It just so happened that I looked at the time right now, too, and I was like, oh, shoot, I can't play with him too long about this when the point was actually already made as well. So, dang, I got to end. Yeah, I got to end. Art and the others who are on the line, I cannot get to you. I'm sorry. Maybe one day I'll be able to add some more hours or another day. But until next time, I appreciate you guys. That concludes Joel Friday TV podcast. Follow me across all platforms, Joel Friday TV and The Gifted of Dance, right? Make sure you do that. I am on Apple Podcasts, so you can listen there too if you cannot watch the video or it's more convenient for you. And I'm also on Buy Me a Coffee and Super Chats and all that stuff. So, yeah, follow me, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, the hour just flies by. I appreciate y'all. Until we meet again. I'm not going to say bye yet. Not until I have the clip ready. Okay, bye.
About